Colorado High School Activities Association basketball is on B106 and B106.com. This afternoon from Berthoud High School, the Fort Morgan Mustangs will be playing a doubleheader with the boys and the girls. First, the girls' game here at 11:30, and they will be playing the Vista Peak Bison. The Fort Morgan girls come into this game 1-4. They had a nice win yesterday afternoon against Skyview Academy, 44-28. Vista Peak comes in at 3-2. They lost yesterday to Berthoud, 28-63. So big game here for the Mustang girls here to try and get things going here. They got a nice win yesterday, so we'll see if we can keep that going today. This is Brian Nickel, and my statistician today is Claudia Nickel. Coach for the Mustangs is Jim Krackemeyer. Assistant coach is Jim Gross. The opening tip is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. With 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan, Ingmeyer Phillips can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. So we have just a few seconds here to go. We'll get a starting lineup here as soon as we find out who it is. The Fort Morgan girls right now are shooting at only a 21%, like 24% on the year. Vista Peak is shooting at 29%. And the starting lineup is brought to you by Blodorn Lumber. At blodornlumber.com, browse the virtual showroom, view the current sales, complete a credit application, and shop the entire inventory online. Whether you're a contractor or painting your living room, at Blodorn Lumber, you'll get the same friendly service and advice to make your job easier. Visit Blodorn Lumber in Fort Morgan at 130 State Street. Vista Peak with the tip-off, starting lineup for the Fort Morgan Mustangs, Lindsay Nestor, Christina Frick, Aurora Baca, Samantha Scott, and Serena Wells. So right now, Vista Peak with the first shot up and good. That is by Johnson, so they take the early lead, 2-0 for the Vista Peak Bison. Now pass down court, shot up and no good, and rebounded to number 23 for Vista Peak. Now another shot up and good. I believe that was to number 42. Don't have her number in here. So that makes the score 4-0 in favor of Vista Peak. Now Christina Frick at the free throw line passes it back out to Serena Wells. Her shot up and no good, knocked out of bounds by Vista Peak. So it will stay with the Mustangs at their end of the court. Samantha Scott to inbounds. She gets the ball, gets it into Christina Frick. Her shot is up and no good, and rebounded to number 42. Sorry, we do not have a number on her, and then she immediately turns it over. So Fort Morgan gets the ball in, shot up and no good, rebounded by Vista Peak, and that is to Kennedy. Her pass down court, no good. Rebounded by Nestor, so her first rebound of the game. Fort Morgan trailing 4-0 here early in the first period. Ball to Lindsay Nestor, now over to Samantha Scott. Samantha Scott brings it up around the top of the key, now drives down the lane, and there's going to be a foul called. I believe that's going to be on number 25. That is Johnson. That will be her first foul of the game. Now Samantha Scott to inbounds the ball. She looks, tries to get it in. Now it's over to Lindsay Nestor. Lindsay Nestor with a little shot from the right side, and it's up and good for Nestor. For 4-2 in favor of Vista Peak. They get it up across half court. Malaya Kennedy now over to Jaylene Johnson. Shot from the corner is no good. Rebounded to Nestor again, so second rebound for her in the game. Samantha Scott with the ball. Keeps the dribble alive. Now bounce passes over to the left side to Lindsay Nestor. Nestor at the free throw line. Then she drives it down the left lane. And she pokes it back out, and that will be a turnover by the Mustangs, and the layup is good. For number 42, we're going to see if we can figure out who that is. And now the Vista Peak lead 6-2. Lindsay Nestor over to Serena Wells. Pass underneath is no good, taken away. That would be a turnover on Fort Morgan. Shot up and good by number 23, Johnson. So 8-2 in favor of Vista Peak. Samantha Scott now with the ball up court. She gets it out to Nestor, high right wing. Now she takes it into the lane. She tries to go down the left side, kicks it back out to Serena Wells. Wells back to Nestor, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds by number 23. 42, I believe her name is Mack. Rain Mack, I believe, is her name. Fort Morgan inbounds the ball. Samantha Scott dribbles out high, and it's going to be tipped away from her, taken away by Kennedy, and her shot is up and good by Kennedy. So 3 turnovers here early for the Mustangs. Have a violation on the just a step out on Vista Peak, so no turnover or anything there. And this is Avelos coming in for Monica Avelos goes in, and Serena Wells will take a seat for now for the Mustangs. Fort Morgan trying to get their offense set here. The ref hasn't given the ball yet to Aurora Baca. Aurora Baca now with the ball, looks to get the ball inbound, and she gets it in, but it's going to be a steal. Another turnover by the Mustangs. Oops, they take it back. So Fort Morgan down the lane, up and no good by Christina Frick. There was a rebound on the floor, and that was to Nestor. So Nestor with her 3rd rebound of the game so far. She was fouled on the shot. So Lindsay Nestor will go to the line to shoot 2. Her first shot is up and good. She has all the points so far for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. She'll be at the line to earn her 2nd free throw. Lindsay Nestor shot up and also good. So what brings the score now to 10-4 in favor of Vista Peak. They get it down court. Drive down the right side of the lane, and shot is up and no good, but there's a foul on the Fort Morgan Mustangs. And that is going to be on Nestor. It'll be her first. That will send Brianna Reeves, I believe, to the line, number 30, and her first shot is up and good. She'll get one more from the free throw line for Reeves. Her second shot is up and rolls in. So 12-4 in favor of Vista Peak with 4:09 to go in the first period. Fort Morgan with the ball down court, and they're going to end up turning the ball over again. Nestor loses it out of bounds. Vista Peak with the ball, bringing it across half court to get it out to Carter, now into the corner to Reeves. Reeves is going to be taken away. A nice steal there by Fort Morgan. That will be Avelos. So that was a turnover by Vista Peak, knocked out of bounds. Fort Morgan with the ball. Samantha Scott to get it in to Amy Anderson. Her shot up and no good, but rebounded by Christina Frick. So rebound for Christina. That's her first rebound of the game. 4 rebounds we have now for Fort Morgan. Christina's shot is up and good. Her first points of the afternoon. Actually, it's late morning still. So 12-5 in favor of Vista Peak. That one up and no good by Frick. Rebounded to Nestor. So it's going to be 4 on Nestor. Her rebounds for Nestor. Now she's going to go to the line. And the foul was on number 22, Kaylee Baker. First shot up and no good by Nestor. So Aurora, Christina Frick to take a seat. Shot up and off the back of the rim and no good. Have a lane violation on Vista Peak, so Nestor will get another shot. 3:35 to go in the first period. Vista Peak up 12-5. Lindsay Nestor with her second shot. That one is good this time. So 12-6 in favor of the Fort Morgan, in favor of the Vista Peak. Now shot up from the right wing, no good, but rebounded number 42, Mack. And then had a foul on number 32, I believe, of Vista Peak. Actually, 42 is Mack. So Fort Morgan tries to get the ball inbounds. It's knocked away by Malaya Kennedy. Now Aurora Baca, to the right of the Vista Peak basket, tries to get the ball from the ref. She tries to get it in and gets it into Samantha Scott. Samantha Scott gets it over to Avalos. Now they're going to call a travel on Anderson. So another turnover by the Mustangs. So Vista Peak with the ball up across half court. Brought up by Kennedy. Now a shot from the right corner is no good by Baker. Then Mack goes up and her basket is no good, but she is fouled. And that foul is going to go against Avalos. So Mack to the line to shoot 2. Her first shot is up and good. So Fort Morgan with a couple of substitutions. Christina Frick into the game, and also Forsyth is into the game. That shot up and no good. Rebounded to Anderson. Taken down the floor, but it's going to be thrown away by Fort Morgan. Christina Frick with a bad pass across court. Now a shot up and no good by Vista Peak, but they do get the rebound to Mack. Now they're going to call a foul on Fort Morgan. I believe that's going to go against Aurora Baca. They're going to call on 44 of Rodriguez. So her first, Fort Morgan's third. See there. The rest are having a little tough time here deciding what's going on with the foul, I guess. The first Fort Morgan score of the game was brought to you by Morgan Federal Bank, a bank that is committed to their community and keeping banking simple. When you need banking advice, stop by and see one of their loan officers Monday through Friday, 321 Ensign. Morgan Federal Bank, there is a difference. State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, health. State Farm Insurance is here for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call today, 842-4555. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45-55. 45- get something straightened out over at the scorer's table. We have 3 fouls on the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Team fouls have 5 on Vista Peak. And trying to figure out what they may have a error in the book, because Christina Frick is going to go down and shoot a free throw, so they must have a technical on Vista Peak. They must have a number wrong or something in the book. So now Christina Frick with her free throw is up and good. She will get another one. Makes the score 15-7, and that one is no good. So I have her for 2 points on the afternoon for Frick. Now Fort Morgan will inbounds the ball at half court. And that will be Aurora Baca to inbounds. Now they get it in, and that is to Michaela Forsythe. She brings it down court now to Christina Frick. She gives it off to Anderson, but they end up losing it out of bounds. So another turnover by the Fort Morgan Mustangs. 2:29 to go. Vista Peak leading 15-7. Vista Peak with the ball up to half court. Now out to Cox. Now from the corner is no good. Rebounded to Frick. He gets the ball down court. Frick picks it up. Now Avalos dribbles it, picks her dribble up, and then out of bounds. That's going to be another turnover by the Mustangs. So 2:02 to go in the first period. Fort Morgan down 15-7. Vista Peak with the ball. Gets it out to Reeves. Reeves now into the corner to Tori Love. Tori Love's 2 was good. That makes it 17-7. And a steal on the inbounds, and that is no good. Rebounded. We'll give the rebound to Avalos. Now was knocked out of bounds by Vista Peak. So Samantha Scott comes back into the game. For Avalos. Fort Morgan tries to get the ball in. They need to get it in, and they do get it into Christina Frick. She picks it up and then gives it off to Samantha Scott. Samantha Scott down the left side. She brings it back out across the top of the key. Down the right side, down the lane. Little right layup is up and no good. Rebounded to number 22, Baker. And they end up turning it over on a carry. So Fort Morgan with possession of the ball. Aurora Baca with the ball. Trying to get it inbounds. She gets it up. It's going to be another turnover on Fort Morgan. As Forsythe could not hang on to the inbound pass. Now, Vista Peak gets the ball inside. Now kicks it back out to Shelby Paul. Christina Frick with the rebound. The ball down court, and layup is good by Forsythe. So her first 2 points of the game. 17-9. Drive right down the right side of the lane, and that basket is going to be good by Mack. She's also going to get a free throw on that. Fort Morgan with a foul, and that's going to go against Samantha Scott. So Mack to the free throw line. Rain Mack, a freshman. Her first shot is up, and it is good. Fort Morgan now in the backcourt over to Christina Frick. Frick crossed half court with 45 seconds to go in the first period. Another turnover by the Fort Morgan Mustangs. layup down court is going to be up and good. And that is going to be number 23, Johnson. Christina Frick from the right corner. Her shot off the rim and no good. Rebounded to Scott. She goes up for the shot, and she is fouled. And that foul will go against number 22, Baker. I have her for 2 fouls right now. So Samantha Scott to the line to shoot a couple of free throws. First shot is up and good. For Samantha Scott, 22-10 in favor of Vista Peak with 25.1 seconds to go in the first period. Second shot is in and out. Rebounded to number 22, Baker. He gets the ball down court to number 23, Jaylene Johnson. Johnson with a shot from the right side is no good. Samantha Scott with her second rebound. They're going to call a push foul out above the top of the key. And that's going to go against Love. Fort Morgan, Samantha Scott to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Now we'll have a... Guess they got that straightened out. So one of the refs had a question. They got it figured out now. So Samantha Scott with her first one. That is off the back of the rim and no good. Rebounded to Vista Peak at the end of the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, the Fort Morgan Mustangs find themselves down 22-10 on B106 and B106.com. Back at Berthoud High School in the Berthoud tournament, the Fort Morgan Mustang girls find themselves down 22-10 to the Vista Peak Lady Bison at the start of the second quarter. 18 fouls for Vista Peak, 4 on Fort Morgan. So good job there by the Mustangs and not fouling. Just have way too many turnovers, though. And Serena Wells in the corner now gets it out to Samantha Scott. Samantha Scott at the free throw line. She has it knocked away momentarily. Now Christina Frick with it. Her shot is going to be up and good for Frick. Then I give a warning to the Mustangs for hitting the ball once it goes through the basket. So Vista Peak with the ball up court. It's going to be a drive down the lane, but it should be off of the, turnover off of the leg of Kennedy. So a turnover by Vista Peak here early in the second period. Fort Morgan down 10, 22-12. Ball into Samantha Scott. That was going to be a foul on number 21, Kennedy. It'll be her first, 19th foul on Vista Peak. So Samantha Scott to go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Premier Farm Credit is still the lender of choice for America's farmers and ranchers. They understand and are passionate about agriculture and are dedicated to serving America in good times and bad. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending. First shot is up and good by Samantha Scott. Fort Morgan cuts into that lead, gets it down to 9. Samantha Scott with second one coming up, and that is also good. Rattles around and falls in. So Fort Morgan with the first 4 points of the second period. Now pass into the lane. Kick back out to Carter, and her shot is going to be up and good for Carter. So Fort Morgan gets the ball in to Lindsay Nestor. Lindsay Nestor picks it up, gets it to Serena Wells. Serena Wells gets it to Amy Anderson. It's going to be a turnover. And layup is going to be up and good by Mack for 42. Now Fort Morgan is going to have another turnover in the backcourt. Shot up and no good. Rebounded to Frick. Fort Morgan with the ball down court underneath the basket. Now Serena Wells with it out on the right corner. Pass underneath. Now Lindsay Nestor with it from the right block. And that is going to be up and good for Lindsay Nestor. 26-16 in favor of Vista Peak. Pass is going to be taken away by Fort Morgan, so a turnover by Vista Peak. Amy Anderson, the shot from the lane, and no good. Ball is going to be tipped out to Johnson. Johnson's going to take her right-handed layup, and that is going to be good for Johnson. Now Fort Morgan to call a timeout here. We'll see if it's a full timeout or if it's a... This is going to be a full timeout, so we're going to take a timeout with them. Fort Morgan girls down 28-16 on B106 and B106.com. Back at Berthoud High School, Fort Morgan Mustang girls find themselves down 28-16 with 6:04 to go in the second period. Lindsay Nestor with the ball going up court. Keeps the dribble alive. Now she gets off to Serena Wells in the left corner. She needs to get going there. There she goes now. She gets it. It's going to be stolen away. So another turnover by the Mustangs. Shot is going to be up and no good by Mack, but there is going to be a foul on the layup. That will be team foul number 5, I believe, on Fort Morgan. And that foul will go against Scott. That will be her second. So Mack to the line to shoot 2. Her first shot is up and good. We're down for 13 points here in the first half. 29-16, 13-point lead for Vista Peak. Her second shot is up and also good. Fort Morgan gets the ball inbounds. That is to Avalos. Avalos to Aurora Baca. Baca back out to Samantha Scott. Got down the lane, and her little layup is going to be off the rim and no good. Rebounded to number 42. She's going to end up knocking it out of bounds. That will belong back to the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Now Shelby Paul goes out and Mack goes out. Ellie Johnston comes in and Kaylee Baker comes in for Vista Peak. Now we have another turnover, a travel call on the Fort Morgan Lady Mustangs. So 5:27 and counting here in the second period. Fort Morgan down 30-16. Drive down the left lane, and that's going to be, I'm going to call a push on Samantha Scott. That's going to be 3 on Samantha. So we're going to get Christina Frick back into the game here. Samantha Scott will take a seat with her 3 fouls. Just to think you get the ball inbounds. They do underneath, and shot is up and no good. Rebounded to Amy Anderson. Amy Anderson keeps the ball alive. Gets it over to Avalos. Avalos down the lane. Picks up her dribble. Passes it back out to Baca. Baca has the ball knocked away from her momentarily. She picks it up in the left corner. Now pass underneath to Frick. Frick from the left block shot is going to be up and no good. Rebounded to Johnson. And going to be stolen away by Fort Morgan. Nice hands there by Christina Frick. And then knocked out of bounds by Vista Peak. So Aurora Baca to inbounds from just left of the Vista Peak basket. They get it in to Avalos. Avalos picks up her dribble. Now over to Amy Anderson. Anderson dribbles down court, gets it out to Lindsay Nestor. Nestor's shot is up and off the back of the rim, no good, but a nice rebound there by Aurora Baca, and that is going to be good. And she is also fouled on the shot. And that foul was on number 25. That is 3 on Johnston. So Aurora Baca to the line to shoot 1. Fort Morgan down 30-18. Baca's shot is up and good. That is 3 points on the afternoon for Baca. Now Vista Peak with a couple of substitutions. Elia Carter into the game for Matt. Now Vista Peak with a shot from the free throw line is up and good. That is by Johnson. Now Fort Morgan with the ball inbound to Christina Frick. She gets across the half-court line. Picks up her dribble, but then she's going to end up throwing it away. The layup attempt is they're going to call it on the floor, so it'll be a 1-and-1. And that foul is going to go against number 30, Forsyth. Her first. 17 fouls on Fort Morgan. And we have at least 10 on Vista Peak. Shot is up and no good. The rebound is back to Vista Peak, and they're going to call them for a travel. She could give a rebound to Carter and then a turnover by Vista Peak. Amy Anderson picks up her dribble, now gets it to Christina Frick, just short of the half-court line. Wallace now picks up her dribble. She needs to get rid of it. She goes over to Lindsay Nestor. Nestor pass underneath, and they're going to call a travel on Baca. So another turnover by the Mustangs. And it's 16 right now on the Fort Morgan Mustangs here in the first half, down 32-19 with 3:35 to go in the second period. Now Fort Morgan is going to have a steal. Govalos, so turnover. Nestor with the ball just to the left of the lane. Her shot is up and no good. Rebound to Christina Frick. Her shot up and no good. Now rebounded to Johnson. It's now a turnover by Johnson. Shot up and no good by Fort Morgan. Rebounded to Amy Anderson. Amy Anderson with a rebound and then a foul, so she'll go to the line to shoot two. Since the Vista Peak is over the limit. MMI International, before your next mixer or feeder truck purchase, compare the MMI design. That shot is no good by Amy Anderson. Craftsmanship and service. They continually outperform our competitors, hands down. Call them at 842-5161. Anderson with her second free throw, and that one is good. As her for 1 point on the afternoon for her. Now Vista Peak with the ball down court. Back out to Kennedy. Kennedy now, Tori Love from the left corner, no good. Rebounded to Baca. Now Amy Anderson picks up her dribble, gives it to Lindsay Nestor. Lindsay Nestor gives it to Aurora Baca. Now they're going to have a reach-in foul on Vista Peak, and I believe that will go against number 30, Reeves. Have that for her first foul of the afternoon, so Aurora Baca to go to the line to shoot two free throws. Her first shot, waiting to go, is up and no good off the back of the rim. She will get a second shot here. Fort Morgan trailing 32-20, 2:41 to go in the second period. Aurora Baca with her second shot is up and good. 4 points on the afternoon for Baca. Now Vista Peak gets the ball up across half court. Cross court to Kennedy. Now it's going to be stolen away by the Mustangs. And nice layup there by Avalos. Her first 2 points of the afternoon. Now Vista Peak down court. Baker picks up her dribble. Now gives it to Reeves. Shot from the corner is no good. going to be tipped out and taken by, goes into the back court, and there's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow to Vista Peak. A nice hustle there on the floor to get that jump ball called. 2:09 to go in the second period. Fort Morgan down 9, 32-23. Pass underneath to Reeves. She dribbles it back out to the top of the key. Now over on the side, going to be a short shot by Roan. Rebounded to Reeves. They're going to call a foul on Fort Morgan. They're call that on Amy Anderson. Should be Amy's first foul. So the foul on the shot. That shot was no good. Fort Morgan still down by now 10. Paul makes her first point of the afternoon. Fort Morgan, Rohrbach picks up her dribble now to Avalos. Avalos down the lane, kicks it out. Now they're going to call another foul on Vista Peak. We'll see who that goes on. I believe it's on number 30. Yes, it is on Reeves. Should be her second, so Avalos will go to the line to shoot two. First shot is up and in. Banks that off the backboard. Second shot coming up here. 33-24 in favor of Vista Peak with 1:41 to go in the second period. Shot is up and good by Avalos. 4 points on the afternoon for Avalos. Vista Peak gets it up across half court. Now down to the left corner. Back out to the top. Over into the right corner. And a three by Mack from the right corner. And now Fort Morgan is going to end up throwing the ball away. Another turnover by the Mustangs. So 1:21 to go in the first half. Fort Morgan down 36-25. You have Mack with the ball out front. Pass over to number 40, and her shot is up and no good. Rebounded to Mack. Fort Morgan now with the ball. Lindsay Nestor gets the rebound. And then she is fouled on a reach-in by Vista Peak. That is on number 20, Paul. Now Lindsay Nestor to go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Her first shot going to be up and good. So Amy Anderson takes the seat for right now. Second shot is up and also good by Nestor. 4 points for her in the second period here this afternoon. Vista Peak down the lane. The shot is up and good by Mack. Now ball in to Avalos. Avalos takes the ball down court, picks up her dribble. Now to Nestor. Nestor's shot is going to be up and good. A nice shot there by Lindsay Nestor. 38-29 with 37 seconds to go in the first half. Fort Morgan down. Vista Peak holds it out high. Now gets across court to Kylie Baker, but it's knocked out of bounds by Christina Frick. So now Vista Peak 2 inbounds. They get it in to Brianna Reeves. Reeves dribbles out high, keeps the dribble alive. Now she's going to try to go down the left side of the lane. Bump momentarily, but no call foul. Going to be a rebound back to Vista Peak. Now there's going to be a 3-second violation on Vista Peak. That will be a turnover against Vista Peak. So 12.4 seconds to go in the first half. Fort Morgan down 38-29 to inbounds, looking to get the ball in and knocked back out of bounds by Vista Peak. For Abaka to trigger the ball in from the left side of the basket. Now to Christina Frick. Frick down the lane. Her shot is going to be blocked. They're going to call a foul. Excuse me. That's going to go on Baker. That's going to be 3 on Baker. So Christina Frick to the line to shoot 2. Valley View Villa looked at the team at Aspen Rehabilitation inside Valley View Villa for your sports rehab, short-term or long-term care needs. Stop by 815 Fremont or call them today, 867-8261. First shot was up and good, and so was the second one by Frick. So the lead down to 7. With 4 seconds to go. It's going to be shot up and no good, but rebounded, and that shot is up and no good. So at the end of the first half, the Fort Morgan Mustangs find themselves down 7, 38-31 on B106 and B106.com. Back at Berthoud High School, the Fort Morgan Lady Mustangs find themselves down 38-31. Missed 9 free throws, 64% from the line. Vista Peak is 7 of 8 for 88% from the line. They're shooting a lot better, but haven't been to the line near as much. The Fort Morgan Mustang girls will have to do a better job here in the second half on controlling the basketball. You have 18 turnovers in a half. That takes a lot of opportunities away at the line to be able to score points. And some of those we're saying 16 and 25. That doesn't count. If they would have made the first of a 1-and-1, they would have had a opportunity for another point. So Jim Krackemeyer and his assistant Mike Gross have their work cut out for them in the second half here. Try to get the girls to control the ball a little better, do a little bit better job at the free throw line. So Fort Morgan find themselves down 38-31. The Fort Morgan girls had a nice win yesterday against Skyview Academy for their first win, 44-28. I believe they had 17 points in the third quarter and outscored Skyview Academy 16-2 in the fourth period. So that was a nice game for the Mustangs to get their first win of the game. So here to start the second half is Fort Morgan with possession. And they do get it into Samantha Scott. Samantha Scott in the back court gets across half court. Samantha Scott keeps her dribble alive. Now to Lindsay Nestor, right wing. Now she goes to the baseline to be blocked, but she gets it back. Now Samantha Scott was a little bunny there, but she misses it. And Christina Frick goes down, helped up by Vista Peak. Rebounded. A shot that was going to be a pass, but taken away by Fort Morgan. So turnover by Vista Peak. Shot up and good. I believe that was Samantha Scott who made that shot. So Vista Peak with the ball across half court. Right into the corner. Rebounded by Frick. That shot was up and no good by Jaylene Johnson. But Frick with the rebound. Knocked out of bounds. Now possession to the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Aurora Baca looks to get it in. She gets it into Serena Wells. Wells gets it across half court. Keeps the dribble alive. Now gets it over to Aurora Baca. Baca to Christina Frick left at the basket. Christina Frick back out to Serena Wells. She picks it up. She gets it knocked away from her. She goes into the lane. Her shot is going to be up and short. Rebounded is going to be to number 25. That is Johnston. Now they're going to call a double dribble on Vista Peak, so another turnover by Vista Peak here in the third period. Fort Morgan to inbound the ball here near side, and that is going to be a turnover taken away by Mack. Now they're going to call her for a carry. So that's another turnover by Vista Peak. Fort Morgan only down 5, 38-33. Samantha Scott looking to get the ball in. Gets it into Nestor. Nestor for a three from the left corner, up and no good. And that is going to be rebounded by Carter. Down court and knocked away. Nice hustle play by Samantha Scott to knock the ball out of bounds. So Vista Peak the inbounds right of their basket. That will be Elijah Carter to get it in. She gets it into Mack. Mack to Kennedy. Kennedy keeps her dribble alive now over to Carter. Carter gets it back out to Johnston. Shot up and no good. Rebounded to Frick. That's 7 rebounds I have for Frick on the afternoon. Now Samantha Scott gets it out to Lindsay Nestor. Nestor has it out high. She dribbles into the lane. Her runner is going to be up and off the back of the rim and no good. So rebounded to Aurora Baca. Her shot was no good. Rebounded out to Samantha Scott. Nice save on the far sideline by Christina Frick. Now it's back to Samantha Scott. 5:50 to go in the third period. Scott with the dribble. Gets it out to Baca out high. Now over to Nestor on the left wing to Christina Frick in the free throw lane. She passes it out, and it's going to be taken away. Another turnover by the Mustangs. Shot is going to be up and good by number 21, Kennedy. First 2 points of the third quarter for Vista Peak. Now they're going to steal it away again. So another turnover by Fort Morgan. Each team now with 3 turnovers here in the third period. Vista Peak inbounds it to Jaylene Johnson. She keeps her dribble alive. Fort Morgan in a man-to-man defense. Now out to Elijah Carter. She dribbles the lane and no good. And shot is up and no good and out of bounds to the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Now Amy Anderson and Avalos come into the game for the Mustangs. Aurora Baca and Serena Wells go to the bench. Fort Morgan finds themselves down 40-33. And threw it out of bounds by Fort Morgan. So now the ball to Vista Peak. Mack with a shot from the right corner, up and no good. That is going to be rebounded by Johnson. So Johnson keeps the dribble alive out high, being guarded by Lindsay Nestor. Now over into the corner, there's going to be a foul on the drive, and that is going to be on Amy Anderson. So that'll be the first team foul on the Fort Morgan Mustangs, 2 on Amy Anderson this afternoon. Now Mack with the ball, 3-point circle, right wing, cross-court pass, but it's going to be tipped out of bounds. Nice hustle there by Christina Frick. Vista Peak to inbounds far side, Allie Johnston. She gets it into Kylie Baker, Shot is going to be up and no good by Kennedy. Going to be rebounded to Nestor. Now Nestor with the ball back in her possession. She drives the left baseline, passes it out to Samantha Scott. Samantha Scott with the dribble and a shot up, and that is going to be no good. She is fouled on the shot, and that's going to be against Johnston. I believe that will be 4 on her. Yes, it is. So Samantha Scott to the line to shoot 2. Her first shot is up and good. Gives her 6 points on the afternoon. To receive scoring updates at the end of each quarter, follow us on Twitter at B106 and turn on mobile notifications. Second shot is up and in and out for Scott. Rebounded to Vista Peak. Drives it down the lane, and they're going to be a reach-in foul. That's going to go on Scott. That's going to be 4 on Samantha. Second team foul on the Mustangs here in the third period. So Monica Avalos to come in for Samantha Scott. Vista Peak the inbounds right of their basket, leading 40-34. Looks to get the ball in and taken away by Christina Frick. Nice job there by Frick. The turnover by Christina Frick. Now another turnover by the Mustangs. They lose it out of bounds. Vista Peak with the ball. Kylie Baker is knocked out by Christina Frick, so ball back to Vista Peak. Vista Peak looks to inbounds. They get it in to Mack. Mack's being counted, but they're going to say the ball was off of Mack's knee and out of bounds, so another turnover by Vista Peak. Fort Morgan's still in this, only down 6 with 3:59 to go in the third period. Christina Frick to inbound. She gets it into Avalos, but it was knocked out of bounds by Malia Kennedy of Vista Peak. So Monica Avalos to inbounds. Baseline. You do get it into Amy Anderson. Now back to Christina Frick. Frick with a jumper from the right side. Basket is good on a bank shot. Nice shot there by Christina Frick. 8 points on the afternoon for Frick. First 2 here in the second half. Fort Morgan down only 4, 40-36. Taken away by Monica Avalos. Her shot is going to be up and blocked. They're going to call a foul on Jaylene Johnson, number 23. That is her first on the afternoon. So Monica Avalos to the line for 2 shots, and her first shot is up and no good. For Monica Avalos, she is a 5'3" junior for the Mustangs. Second shot is up and much better. That one is good for 5 points on the afternoon for her. Vista Peak cross half court. Jaylene Johnson, jumper from the key, no good. Finally rebounded by number 11, Love. Her first rebound of the afternoon. They go up for a shot, and a foul is called on a push. I believe that's going to be on Avalos. And that will be her second. First shot is up and no good by Kennedy. Goes to the line for 2. First one is no good. Still 40-37. Second shot off the back of the rim and no good, but rebounded back to Kennedy. Her shot up and no good. Rebounded by Baker. Now they're going to call a foul on a reach-in, I believe. It's going to be a blocking foul on Fort Morgan on Avalos. That'll be 3 on her. They have her down just 2. So ball into Vista Peak. Vista Peak gets it in. Nice shot block by Christina Frick against Jaylene Johnson. Christina Frick is a 5'9" junior for the Mustangs. Vista Peak, the inbounds baseline right of their basket. And they're going to call a foul, offensive foul on Mack on Vista Peak on the shove on the inbounds play. So we'll call that a turnover by Vista Peak. So that's Johnson's second foul. Avalos now with the ball going up the right side of the court, cross half court. She dribbles it down, picks up her dribble now to Christina Frick, just inside the free throw line, or the 3-point line, but she gets her own rebound. And then they're going to call a travel against Frick. Now, Aurora Bakke and for Lindsay Nestor. Fort Morgan down only 3 here. The Vista Peak has only had 2 points here in the second half. Now a shot by Johnson. Her shot up and no good. Rebounded to Baca. Fort Morgan now turns it back over. I'm going to call a push foul underneath on the Mustangs. On Frick. I have that as her first for the game. 14 fouls on Fort Morgan, 3 on Vista Peak. Kayleen Johnson goes out. Shelby Paul comes in for Vista Peak. Now a little runner down the lane, up and no good by Carter. They're going to call a travel on Vista Peak. So another turnover here in the third period. Fort Morgan only down 40-37, 2:24 to go in the third period. Now some full court pressure here by the Vista Peak Bison. Avalos, she gets it over. It's going to be knocked away and then taken by Amy Anderson. Her shot is up and no good, but rebounded by Forsythe. Oh. And then Avalos tries to save it in and about takes Monica Avalos' head off, and she did get her hand up in time to protect herself. A turnover by the Mustangs. So full court pressure here by Fort Morgan Mustangs. Max gets the ball across half court against Avalos. Into the corner, shot up and good, and that is by Paul. Only the second field goal of the third period for the Vista Peak Bison. Now the inbounds pass is knocked out of bounds by Vista Peak. So Fort Morgan basketball, they get it into Avalos. She's ahead of the pack here, ahead of number 11. Her shot up and no good. Rebounded to Christina Frick, but she throws the ball away. That's going to be to Mac, but they're going to call her for a travel. So turnover by Vista Peak. We give Frick another rebound. That in on her for 9 rebounds here. Now Fort Morgan throws the ball away on the inbounds. So Vista Peak, the inbounds, they're into the court. Kylie Baker gets it off to Carter. Carter with a little jump from the right side, no good. But rebounded to Shelby Paul. Now a three-pointer is up and good by Mack. So Fort Morgan down by 8 now, 45-37 with 1:26 to go. And the ball must have been knocked out of bounds and retained by the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Aurora Bach inbounds us to Avalos. Avalos drives to the lane, and she is going to be fouled on the shot. And that is going to be Kennedy. That's 2 on Kennedy, so Avalos to go to the line to shoot 2. They have 3 on Kennedy. First free throw is up and good by Avalos. 6 points on the afternoon for Monica Avalos. She will get one more free throw. Morgan down 45-38 with 1:22. Second shot is up and good. Fort Morgan down 6. Vista Peak drives the lane, kicks it back out. Now from the left side is no good. Rebounds it to Amy Anderson, and she is going to be tied up there, and the possession arrow goes to Vista Peak. So Vista Peak, Kylie Baker tries to get in, knocked out by Fort Morgan. Now they'll try to inbounds from the left of their basket. In and shot is up and no good. Rebounded back to Mack. Now out to the left corner. Shot up and no good by Elijah Carter. Rebounded to Amy Anderson, and then she's going to be fouled on the rebound. Let's see who they give that to. That's going to go to number 30, Reeves. That's 3 on her. 5 team fouls, a piece for each team. And Fort Morgan throws the ball away on the inbounds. And then Vista Peak turns right around and throws it away. So now Monica Avalos keeps the dribble alive out front. Picks it up over to Lindsay Nestor from the left elbow. She drives it in, and she goes up for the shot, and she is going to be fouled on the shot. That is going to be on Reeves. That'll be 4 on her. So Lindsay Nestor to go to the line to shoot 2. Fort Morgan down 45-39 with 33.9 seconds to go. Her first shot is up and good. Her first points of the third period. That gives her 12. Leading scorer for the Mustangs so far this afternoon. Shot number 2 is also good. Fort Morgan down 4, 45-41. Mack brings it up across half court, guarded by Avalos. Keeps the dribble alive. 23 seconds to go. Shot is going to be up and no good, but rebounded to Avalos. Or to Avalos, yes. Monica Forsyth with the ball now. Turnover underneath off Aurora Baca. With 5.8 seconds to go here in the third period. Elijah Carter inbounds to Mack. And 4-3. Now it's going to go back to Reeves, but she throws the ball away. So at the end of the third period, the Vista Peak Bison lead the Fort Morgan Mustangs 45-41 on B106 and B106.com. Hey, Nicole, bringing you the Fort Morgan girls basketball game. Just the start of the fourth period, Fort Morgan find themselves down 45-41. So a game well within reach here. They had 8 turnovers. I have down 8 turnovers for the Fort Morgan Mustangs in the third period. Now they started off with a turnover, and it's going to be a shot up and good by Mack. Another turnover on the inbounds play. Shot up and no good by Johnson. They're going to call a foul on the rebound. That is going to go against Aurora Baca. They must have called it on the shot. So Aurora Baca, I have that for her first free throw, and Paul goes to the line to shoot 2, and her first one is good. 4 points on the afternoon for Paul, Shelby Paul, Jr. That went off the front of the rim, no good, but rebounded to Vista Peak by number 23. Now she gets it out to Elijah Carter. Carter back over into the corner, net shot up and no good by Baker. Rebounded to Fort Morgan. And now they're going to have a double dribble called on Fort Morgan. After the rebound, I believe Serena Wells had that rebound. We'll give her one for the afternoon here. Fort Morgan down 7, 48-41. Vista Peak gets the ball inbounds. Well, Elijah Carter, she gets it out to Mack. Back to Elijah Carter on a little give and go. They're going to call a foul on the floor. That's going to go on Christina Frick. Have her for 2. 17 fouls on Fort Morgan, 6 on Vista Peak. So Carter will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. First shot is up and no good, in and out, but rebounded to Vista Peak by number 23, and that is Johnson. She goes back up and gets the bucket. So Fort Morgan now to get the ball in, down 9 now. Stolen again by Vista Peak, but taken by Samantha Scott, and then they're going to call a foul on number 20. That is Paul. Shelby Paul. So that will be 7 now on Vista Peak. So 17 fouls. So Samantha Scott to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Samantha Scott at the line with Christina Frick and Aurora Baca at the blocks. First shot is up and good for Scott for the first point of the fourth period for the Mustangs. 7 points on the afternoon for Samantha Scott. Her second shot up and off the back of the rim, no good, but rebounded to Christina Frick. Frick, no, excuse me, to Aurora Baca. Her shot up and no good. There's going to be a turnover off the rebound from Vista Peak. So the Fort Morgan Mustangs inbound in front of their bench, far side. It looked like it was knocked out of bounds by Jaylene Johnson. So Fort Morgan to inbound, still far side in front of their bench. Christina Frick to inbound. She gets it into Samantha Scott. Samantha Scott keeps the dribble alive, now over to Lindsay Nestor. She holds the ball out on the right wing. She's going to go down the lane. Little shot it up and no good. And she is going to go to the line to shoot 2 for Nestor. And that foul will go on Paul. That'll be her third. So Nestor to go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Her first one is up and good. 14 points on the afternoon for Nestor. 50-43. Fort Morgan down 7 with 6:42 to go in the game. Second shot is in and out. Rebounded to Johnson. She gets the ball down court, drives it all the way to the basket, up and no good. Rebounded to Serena Wells. She gets it up to Christina Frick. Frick picks up her dribble. Now over to Nestor. Nestor from the left side. His shot is up and no good. Rebounded to Paul. Down court to Mac. Mac's shot is going to be up and good. 4 points in the quarter for Mac. Fort Morgan gets it into Serena Wells. 6:09 to go in the fourth period. Now taken by Christina Frick, but it's going to be taken away by Johnson. Her layup is up and no good. They will call a foul on number 21 on Vista Peak, and that will be Kennedy. That should be, let's see if they have, how many they have for her. Have 3 on, they have 4 on Kennedy. So Christina Frick to go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. As Forsythe, Michaela Forsythe, and Amy Anderson come in for Serena Wells and Samantha Scott. Christina Frick at the line for a 1-and-1. First shot is up and no good. Rebounded to Johnson. She gets down court. A shot taken from the right corner, no good. Rebounded back to Vista Peak. Now drive in and shot up and no good, but rebounded by Vista Peak. Rebounded by Aurora Baca off the miss. Now Michaela Forsythe with the ball. Over to Amy Anderson on the left wing. She gets to Christina Frick at the free throw line. Frick's shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Johnson. But stolen by Fort Morgan. Shot up and no good. Rebounded to Anderson. But it was taken away by Mac. Mac goes down the right sideline. She goes down the lane. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Mack. Nice job there by Michaela Forsythe to hold her position there, but she was down for a second. She is up now. So that is 2 fouls on Mack. They're bringing Samantha Scott back in and going to set Michaela Forsythe down for a little bit, make sure she has her bearings all in line and straight here after she took that hard charge from the Vista Peak Bison. Now Aurora Baca to get it in. She gets it into Amy Anderson. Anderson brings it down. She passes it off to Nestor on the right side. Nestor's shot is up and good. So Fort Morgan down 52-45 with 4:58 to go in the game. They're going to call an over and back on the Vista Peak Bison. So Fort Morgan will inbounds from the far sideline in front of the scores table. Christina Frick, the coach from the Bison, had a little question on where the half-court line was. But Fort Morgan with the ball. Samantha Scott across half-court. She picks up her dribble. Now it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Johnson. So Fort Morgan to retain possession with 4:47 to go in the game, down 52-45. So Christina Frick gets it into Nestor. Nestor is going to end up losing the ball to Vista Peak. Matt goes up on the layup for the shot and good. So 6 points here for Mack in the fourth period. Fort Morgan down 9, 54-45 with 4:30 to go in the fourth period. Now Nestor underneath to Baca. Nice little pass there to Baca for her 2 points in the fourth period. 6 on the afternoon for Baca. Now Mack drives it down the lane. Her shot is going to be up and no good. And rebounded. That's who they give it to. They give it to number 21. And she gets her own rebound. And she is going to be fouled. Maybe it's fouled on the shot, but I don't believe so. Foul is going to go on Amy Anderson. It'll be 3 on her. So Malaya Kennedy will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Her first try here in the fourth period. Shot is going to be up and good, so she will earn a second shot from the free throw line. 55-47 and 4:04 to go in the game. Next shot is in and out. Rebounded to Christina Frick. Now to Samantha Scott. Samantha Scott keeping the dribble alive out front. Gets it into the corner to Lindsay Nestor. Nestor tries to go up for a shot from the right side, and she is going to be fouled by Carter. And that is her first for the game. But Nestor will go to the line to shoot 2. So Nestor's first shot is up and off the back of the rim and no good. I guess the scorer's table has Carter for 2 fouls. So Lindsay Nestor with her second shot. That was going to be in and out, so she misses both free throws. And they're going to call a jump ball on the rebound. Possession 2, Vista Peak. So Fort Morgan finds themselves down by 8, 55-47 with 3:45 to go. Vista Peak to Mack. Mack is going to be called for a carry. That'll be a turnover by Vista Peak. Now Aurora Bacchus tries to get it in. She goes to Amy Anderson. Amy Anderson down the left sideline. She throws it to Christina Frick. Frick throws it over to the right side, but it's going to be taken away by Mack. So turnover by Fort Morgan. Now Johnson with a shot from the right elbow, and that is going to be up and good for number 23, Johnson. Now Fort Morgan, Samantha Scott tries to get the ball up court. She does get across half court. She's going to drive it all the way to the basket. Her layup is good for Samantha Scott. So nice dribble from end to end for Samantha Scott. And Fort Morgan will take a full time out here, so we'll take one with them. 57-49 in favor of Vista Peak on B106 and B106.com. Back at Berthoud High School, where the Fort Morgan Lady Mustangs find themselves down 57-49 with 3:04 to go in the fourth period. Give and go by the Vista Peak Bison. Nice layup there by Mack. 8 points in the quarter for Mack. Now another steal by Vista Peak. Shot up and good. I believe that was Mack on that shot. Now Samantha Scott gets the ball up court. She passes it to Forsythe. Forsythe's shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Carter for Vista Peak. Now down to Mack, and Mack is going to end up losing it out of bounds. So turnover by Vista Peak. Christina Frick to inbounds from the right of the Vista Peak basket. Fort Morgan down now 12, 61-49. Christina Frick's bounce pass into the lane is intercepted, but now it's going to be taken back. Oh, nope. Now to Mack, and her shot is going to be up and good. And now a 30-second timeout will be taken by Vista Peak. So to receive scoring updates at the end of each quarter, follow us at Twitter at B106 and turn on mobile notifications. So this is game 1 of 2 here this afternoon. Shortly after this contest is done, the Fort Morgan boys will be playing against the Berthoud Spartans. Fort Morgan boys off a exciting win yesterday, 39-38 over Conifer. Now Fort Morgan to inbounds from their right of the Vista Peak basket. Now Samantha Scott with the ball across half court over to Forsythe. Forsythe picks it up, gives it to Christina Frick. Now to Anderson. Anderson's shot is going to be blocked. They're going to call a foul on the rebound, and I believe that is Samantha Scott. If that is on Scott, that will be 5 on her, so she will be out. So Kennedy to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. We'll see who. I believe Serena Wells came in for the Mustangs here with 1:56 to go. The first shot is up and no good. Fort Morgan with the rebound. And lost out of bounds by Vista Peak. Now Christina Frick inbounds for the Mustangs. Fort Morgan finds themselves down 63-49 now with 1:50 to go. In the fourth period, Serena Wells picks up her dribble. Now she's got to get it away. She does to Frick in the lane. Frick's shot is up and no good. But Frick gets her own, or Serena Wells gets her rebound. That shot is no good. Taken down court by Vista Peak. And they pull it back out, going to kill some clock here with 1:25 to go. Elijah Carter, she gets it over to Kennedy. Kennedy back out to Johnson out high, and they're just running clock right now. Lindsay Nestor out on Johnson. Now underneath to Mack. Mack with a little reverse layup there. Nice layup there by Mack. She's killed the Mustangs here in the fourth period. So Mustangs with the ball on their end of the court. Forsythe gets it into Anderson. Anderson turnaround jumper is up and good for Amy Anderson here in the fourth period, her first 2 points in the fourth period. 45 seconds to go in the contest. Fort Morgan down 65-51. Mac's shot is up and no good. Rebounded to Mac. She gets her own rebound. Shot is going to be up and no good by Carter. Amy Anderson with the rebound. Now to Forsythe. Her shot is going to be up and no good. She is going to be fouled on the shot. And that foul goes against Carter. That is 3 on her. So Amy Forsythe will go to the line to shoot 2. Her first shot is up and good. Stubbs Gas and Oil. If you're tired of the same old lunch and dinner menu, switch it up and pick up something new from the hot and cold deli selection at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Find great food at low prices at Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. Now Fort Morgan, next shot is up and no good. Rebounded to Mac for the Bison with 19 seconds to go. And Mac is going to be called for a turnover, carrying the ball with 18 seconds to go. Fort Morgan down 65-52. We have Caitlin Cox into the game for the Mustangs. Forsythe's going to try and drive it to the basket. She pulls it back out. Now a little shot from the baseline, but that's going to be blocked by Mac. So 10.3 seconds to go here. Fort Morgan down 65-52. With Michaela Forsythe, the inbounds the ball. She gets into Anderson. Anderson's shot from the left wing is no good. Rebounded to Kennedy. Now we'll have a jump ball with 2.8 seconds to go. Possession arrow to the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Inbounds from the far sideline, Aurora Baca. She gets into Monica Avalos. And shot is going to be up and no good at the buzzer. So at the end of the game here, the Fort Morgan Mustang girls go down 65-52. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs basketball on B106 and B106.com. With Claudia Nickel, this is Brian Nickel at the end of the Fort Morgan girls game here. The Mustang postgame show is brought to you by Buildings by Design. Knowing who you can trust to do a good job is the tough part nowadays. So when you hire Buildings by Design, you can trust you'll get the building you want, when you want it, and at the quality you deserve. Start your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. We'll start out here with the scoring for the Vista Peak Lady Bison. We have Tori Love with 2. Shelby Paul with 4. Malaya Kennedy with 5. Jalen Johnson with 14. Elijah Carter with 2. Brianna Reeves with 2. And the high scorer for the game will be Rain Mack, and she has 36 points this afternoon for the Vista Peak Bison, so they're 65 total. For the Fort Morgan Mustangs, the leading scorer was Lindsay Nestor with 16, Samantha Scott with 10, Monica Avalos with 7, Amy Anderson with 3, Christina Frick with 8, Michaela Forsythe with 3, and Aurora Baca with 6 for the Fort Morgan Mustangs, 52 points. In the second half with the free throws, the Fort Morgan Mustangs were 9 of 16 for 56%, and the Vista Peak Bison were 2 of 7 for 28% from the free throw line. With their turnovers this afternoon, in the first half, the Fort Morgan Mustangs had 18 turnovers. In the second half, they had 16 in the second half, so they have a total of 34 turnovers for the game for the Mustangs. And for the Vista Peak Bison, they have 28 turnovers for the game. Both had 16 turnovers in the second half. As far as rebounding for the Fort Morgan Mustangs, Christina Frick had 10, Anderson with 5, Avalos with 2, Scott with 3, Wells with 3, and Baca with 3. Leading rebounder for the Vista Peak Bison, Johnson had 10, Carter with 3, Johnston with 1, Reyes with 1, Mack with 3, Baker with 4, Kennedy with 2, Hall with 1, and Love with 1. So we're going to take another short break here, and we will be back with the start of the Fort Morgan Mustang boys basketball here on B106 and B106.com.